Hello, lords and ladies. Welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. Episode 8 of Ben 10 The Alliance features Ben having to face a new threat in the form of the newly introduced Rojo, or Rojo, how you pronounce it, while his grandpa is injured and stuck in the hospital. And it makes for a nice episode, one where Ben again continues to mature as he begins to realize how much danger his watch puts his family in. This makes sense as the plot for this episode because of the events of the preceding episodes. Ben has tended to view the watch in a positive way, but lately it's just gotten him into more trouble. In this specific instance, Vilgax has once again sent droids to capture the Omnitrix. Not like it worked the past few times he did this, but you do you, Vilgax. Now, you just know we're heading for a huge battle between Ben and Vilgax. Not only because the story is hinting at it, but also because this is a decade-old show, and we all know this from memory. Anyway, the droids combine with some punk, gothic, biker lady, voiced by Jennifer Hale, who was the one responsible for hurting Grandpa Max in the first place. She's a pretty weakly written character, in my opinion, as her only real draw is her character design. Otherwise, she's just a human version of the droids Vilgax has sent before. Actually, now that I think about it, the second interesting thing about her is probably her reluctance to do what Vilgax says. But since he threatens to kill her, she's forced to do his dirty work anyway. Again, she was the least interesting aspect of this episode. It's actually a relatively dark episode. Max is hurt, Ben's depressed and full of angst. It's quite a different episode than the first 7. With the recent footage of the upcoming reboot still in my head, it'll be interesting to see a more comedic version of this show. Either way, the darkness that pervades this episode works due to it being organic. I think the only negative thing about this episode was some of Ben's dialogue. I guess since he spent most of the series thus far being fairly jovial, it's almost jarring to see him go to a dark place. Wait until we get to Alien Force, am I right? Or maybe it just doesn't work for me because of Tara Strong. She's a talented voice actress, but her Ben voice isn't really suited for being angsty. Overall, it's a good episode, but it could have been better if some of the dialogue had been tweaked a bit, and we had a more exciting villain for Ben to face. Anyway, what did you think of the episode? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and take care.